श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरि ओम्। वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय सूर्यकोटिसमप्रभः निर्विघ्नं गुरु मे देव सर्वकार्ये सर्वदा। गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुः साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। गुरवे सर्वलोकानां विशेषविवरोगिणामतेः सर्वविद्यानां श्रीदक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नमो धर्माय महते नमः कृष्णाय वेदसे ब्राह्मणेभ्यो नमस्कृत्य धर्मान् वक्ष्यामि शाश्वताम्। नमो भगवते तस्मै व्यासाय तेजसे प्रसादात् वक्ष्यामि नारायणकथामिमाम्। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। So we were looking at in the Drona Parva the night battle that was continuing, and in that battle we saw that all the Pandavas and the Panchala warriors, everybody united together. They were going towards Drona and Duryodhana and Shakuni and various other warriors to stop them. There was terrible battle takes place in the darkness. Pandavas were gaining upper hand. Arjuna destroying those army that Shakuni has brought, and Karna was held back by Satyaki and things like that. So they were battling like that. So seeing his own army routed while being slaughtered by like that those Pandava warriors, Duryodhana, who is well polished and well aware of how to speak, he goes to Karna and Drona and he tells them angrily that this battle is set here and started by you two very angrily, having seen that Jayadratha killed in that battle. After that, you two started in this, came to this battle now, angrily saying that you are going to kill them. But I am seeing that you both are very much not interested in helping me in any way, and the Pandava forces, even though you are capable of destroying individually that force, you are not doing that. And if you, it looks like by two of you have now abandoned me. If you had told me at the very beginning, I would not have set my heart on this gaining this kingdom and this battle and everything else. So you always said that we too will defeat these Pandavas in this battle. These were your words. You said this to me. Hearing those words, I approved these proceedings, and I would have never provoked these hostilities with the Pandavas, which is very destructive to combatants on my side. If you had told me that you are not going to be battling with your full power and you are going to be very kind towards Pandavas, if you are not capable of, if I knew that you are not capable of defeating them, then I would not have started this battle. So I like this kind of insulting them and challenging their prowess, their strength, and the work they are doing and the battle they are taking, engaging in like that. He insults once more Drona and this time Karna as well. He insults them when he pierces them, hurts them with those sharp words. Those two, Karna and Drona, once more engaged in that battle, who, like a snake who's been hit by a stick, very angrily started attacking. And when those two bowmen who rushed at speed at all the Pandavas and Panchalas, Satyaki and many others who were heading in that direction, they were facing these two angry warriors from the Kauravas side. So then Drona, he angrily strikes at Satyaki, and then with 10 arrows, Karna strikes him with 10 arrows, and Duryodhana strikes Satyaki with 7, Vrishasena strikes him with 10, Shakuni with 7. Like this, they all started attacking Satyaki, and then Kauravas around that Satyaki again united together with Karna's idea of killing Satyaki and Dhristadyumna. They all started attacking and surrounding him. Seeing Drona slaughtering that Pandava army like that, the Somakas quickly started attacking him and all the sides. Drona as well began to take their lives in that battlefield, just like Surya, as he comes up in the morning, destroys the darkness, just like that. Drona started destroying that Panchala warriors, and they started running away in all directions. Some abandoning their sons, their fathers, their brothers, uncles, sisters, sons, their relatives or kinsmen, abandoning whoever it is, those soldiers who were there with their relatives and family and everybody else in that battlefield. All of them started abandoning and looking after their own lives, started running away from Drona. So Pandavas, like that in that night, started running away when Drona and Karna, they started attacking angrily towards that Panchala troops. Seeing that Panchala slaughtered like that, Krishna becomes very cheerless, and he says this to Arjuna, that Drishtadyumna and Satyaki, they accompanied by the Panchalas, proceeded against Drona and Karna. Large number of our troops have been broken and been routed by the arrows showers coming from Drona and Karna in that battlefield. Though their fight is, we need to check. They are still incapable of. We are incapable. They are still incapable of being rallied. So Satyaki and Drishtadyumna are not able to stop these two. So seeing them flying away like that through fear, Panchalava Pandava warriors again all running away. So like this Krishna says, and we need to go towards Drona and Karna now for stopping them. When Krishna was saying like that, saying like that, at that time he sees Bhima advancing towards Drona and Karna, and Krishna once more addresses Arjuna smilingly, happily now says that, see, Bhima is taking very much happily, he's going surrounded by those Somakas and Panchalas, and he's going towards Drona and Karna, supported by him. Also, many other great Rathis and Maharathis are going towards that Drona and Karna. So then those two uh, uh, Pandu's sons and Krishna, they all started making progress towards Drona and Karna, taking up their stations, and then the battle continued. So the force of Yudhishthira once more returned, seeing Arjuna, Bhima coming together to support Drishtadyumna and Satyaki. So like this, the battle continued again. Drona and Karna were grinding their enemies in that dead of night. The fierce encounter again continued between the two troops on the both sides, killing each other, the warriors, everything. So the kings again shouting their names, they started attacking each other, saying that, okay, so I'm from this troop, this tribe, and things like that. They're saying and then attacking the other side because it was darkness. One way to identify again is through the flags and through, if they can't, and then the voice and things like that. So they were attacking. Then Karna, in that battle, seeing Drishtadyumna in that battle, strikes him in the chest with 10 arrows. Drishtadyumna quickly strikes back at Karna in return with 5 arrows and tells him, wait, wait, and then once more the battle continues between them. Karna then in that battle, he kills the horses and the chariot of Drishtadyumna, and then he cuts off the bow of Drishtadyumna with a broad-headed arrow. He cuts off the driver from also the charioteer from also his chariot. So then Drishtadyumna, who did not have the chariot, horses, or the charioteer, he quickly jumps down from that chariot and then takes up a mace. Though he uh, he again he was struck by Karna with many arrows in that battle. Still, he kills the 4 horses of Karna. So even though Karna was battling, striking at him, he was standing on the ground, and through that mace he kills the 4 horses. Then turning back again with great speed, he quickly jumps onto the chariot of Arjuna, and then mounting on the chariot, Drishtadyumna again desired to go towards Karna. Yudhishthira, however, stops him, and then Karna again, he again once more taking up another bow, and then with this loud blowing his conch shell, he started attacking again. Seeing Drishtadyumna defeated in that battle, he becomes very happy, and then he starts attacking the Panchala troops. Karna's Meanwhile, Karna's charioteer, he ties down Yoke's new set of horses onto his chariot, and like this, the Karna again once again resumes his battle, attacking the Panchalas from all directions, and the Panchala troops started running away once again from Karna, seeing him battling like that. So with his terrible arrows, the Panchala Srinjayas, they took the motion. of even they it look like, I mean, Karna was treating them like even a straw. He was attacking them like that, and they all started running away in all directions. So in that battlefield again, those retreating warriors, they did not see, they lost their senses. They were slaughtered from all the directions in those arrows from Karna and Drona as they were fleeing away from that battlefield. Again, it is important here. Normally, as per the battlefield rules, when somebody is running away from the battlefield, you should not strike them. Okay, when somebody is in fear, when somebody does not have the weapons and things are fainted and things like that, you should not strike them. But here we see that in that night, in that battle, as the Panchala troops were running away from Karna, Drona and Karna, they started slaughtering them as well. Then Yudhishthira, seeing his army running away like that, he addresses Arjuna. He says that, see this Karna stationed like Rudra himself, holding that bow. He is killing everybody, and he is in this dead of night. He is destroying the Panchala troops. These cries we are hearing from the Panchalas uh, are because of those arrows coming from Karna, the manner in which Karna aims and lets off his arrows, takes up new arrow and things like that. We cannot see any time in between them. He continuously, in a circular fashion, is releasing those arrows and killing this. Do something. Time has come. Go and kill Karna now. So, like this, Yudhishthira asks Arjuna. And when he addresses like that, Arjuna tells Krishna, Yudhishthira, he is frightened today by the strength of Karna. When Karna's division is attacking like that, we should do something. So tell me, what should we do? I see Karna is moving here fearlessly in this battlefield, so only I can go and stop. So take me towards where Karna is, and I will kill him today. So like this, Arjuna addresses Krishna. So Krishna tells him that I see Karna, he is there in showing his superhuman prowess in that battlefield, and there is nobody who is capable of advancing against him in this battlefield except you and Ghatotkacha. So Bhima's son Ghatotkacha and you, except you two, I don't see anybody else who can go and resist Karna. So I do not, however, see that the time is right for you to go face to face with Karna. That blazing arrow, which resembles like a meteor, which is given by Indra himself. He has kept that in his care, and he is worshipping that every day and waiting for that time so that he can release that against you. So, but as regards to Ghatotkacha, he is always devoted to you and desiring for your good. Let Ghatotkacha proceed against Karna, and he is having all the celestial strength and prowess. He is son of Bhima, and with him also are those celestial divine weapons. So those weapons also, he's also there, and he is used by the Rakshasas as well. He knows both type of weapons, those celestial weapons as well as those used by the Rakshasas. So let him go there and let him have the battle. And as soon as they were talking about him, Ghatotkacha comes there and he salutes Krishna, and Dhananjay does namaskar, and then he says, command me, what should I do? I am here. And Krishna addresses him saying that, listen, Ghatotkacha, listen to what I say. Listen to carefully what I am going to say. The time has come for you to display your prowess, and not anybody else. This is your time. You become the raft now on this sinking ship and take these Pandavas to the other side. So you have diverse type of weapons and many kinds of Rakshasa illusions. You have Mayas, you have, and seeing the army of Pandavas being beaten by Karna in this battlefield, you go there and face the Karna, and you his arrows are destroying this Panchala warriors. So you go and resist that. You go and destroy that Karna. So except you, there is nobody else who can withstand Karna. So in this battle, so you go and engage him. It is even this that uh, just for this as well, people desire to have their children to be rescued in the difficulties, and just like that, you go and do what is good for your fathers now. So children are the sources of good, and they are expected to rescue their fathers both here and hereafter when they die. So that's why you go and rescue. It is your time to rescue. So you are very illustrious. You are very strong in the battlefield and terrible. You are unrivaled. While contending in the battle, there is none. Nobody is equal to you. And Pandavas are routed by Karna and his arrows. So you go and um, destroy that Dhritarashtra troops in this battlefield. Again, at night time, Rakshasas became endued with unlimited prowess, great might, and great courage. So that's why you go and kill Karna in this battle, in this dead of night. Go and have that battle. The Parthas, the Pandavas, Drishtadyumna will fight against Drona. So, like this, Krishna tells Ghatotkacha that he should go and attack Karna. So again, here it says that Rakshasas gain more power during this night. That's because when the Asuras, Rakshasas were created, they were created in the night time. Okay, so Devatas were created during the daytime, and Rakshasas were created night time. That's why they have more strength during night time. So, hearing those words of Krishna, Arjuna also tells this to Ghatotkacha, saying that, oh Ghatotkacha, yourself, and Satyaki, Bhima, uh, these three, in my judgment, are very greatest among all our warriors. So go and encounter Karna in a single combat in this might, and the Satyaki will protect you from behind, and assisted by that Satyaki, you go and kill Karna in this battle, as Indra killed Asura Taraka in the previous. Asura in the olden days had managed to kill Taraka with the help of Skanda, just like that you go and kill Karna today. So Ghatotkacha says that I am a match for Karna and also Drona, and for any Kshatriyas in this battlefield, I am a match. So this night I will go and battle with Karna. As long as this entire world remains, they will speak of this battle and they will talk of my strength and the battle I am going to have with Karna. So I will kill Karna. Like this, saying this, Ghatotkacha makes his rushes towards Karna, frightening Dhritarashtra's troops, Duryodhana's troops, and Karna smilingly receives Ghatotkacha with who was blazing mouth, and he was blazing locks. He had a hair like that. So in that battle again takes place between Karna and Ghatotkacha, both roaring at each other, like Indra and Prahlada previous days. In the olden days, they had the battle like that, Karna and Ghatotkacha battle. Seeing Ghatotkacha proceeding towards Karna for slaughtering him in that battle, Duryodhana addresses Dushasana, saying, the Ghatotkacha, seeing the Karna's strength in that battle, he going advancing towards him. So resist him, and surrounded by all the forces, you go to that spot where Karna is. Just make sure that Karna is protected in that battle. We don't want Karna to be killed in that battle by this reckless Ghatotkacha Rakshasa in that battle. Meanwhile, Jatasura's another Rakshasa, Jatasura, his son, comes to Duryodhana. He tells him that, oh Duryodhana, commanded by you, I desire to kill with their followers your enemy in this, the Pandavas in this battlefield. My father was mighty Jatasura, and who was the greatest, one of the foremost among the Rakshasas. Previously, having performed some Rakshasa slaying incantations, and those Pandavas killed him, and that's why I want to kill those Pandavas in the battlefield and offer their flesh to my father as a worship. So that's why grant me permission. I want to have that battle. So Duryodhana, seeing the opportunity, he becomes very happy, and he says that, supported by Drona and Karna and others, and also I am also there, I will support you. You go and first go and have the battle, kill Ghatotkacha in the fight, and then you can go and kill the Pandavas afterward. go and have the battle first with Ghatotkacha, kill him first. So this Jatasura's son, he says, okay, so be it, and then he goes with diverse kind of weapons. He goes after Ghatotkacha. The battle takes place between Hidimba's son, Bhima's son, Ghatotkacha, and Alambusha. Alambusha is Jatasura's son, and Karna and the Kuru troops in that battlefield. It takes place between them. So Ghatotkacha on the one side, Jatasura, Karna, Jatasura's son Alambusha and Karna, and the rest of the Kuru troops on the other sides. Like this, the battle takes place between them. Seeing then the power of Ghatotkacha starts creating a lot of illusions, mayas, and seeing that Rakshasa Alambusha again covers Ghatotkacha with showers of diverse kind of arrows. And he strikes at Bhima's son with many arrows, and Alambusha again, without losing any time, he began to hurt the Pandava troops with his own arrows. Afflicted by those arrows and Pandava troops in the dead of night, they started running away in all directions. Similarly, Kaurava troops as well, they were hurt by Ghatotkacha and they started running away in all directions in that night. In thousands, they started running away. Alambusha then strikes Ghatotkacha in the battlefield with many arrows, and Ghatotkacha cuts off into minute fragments the chariot, the charioteer, and all the weapons of his enemy, and laughed frightfully. He laughs at Alambusha. So then again, the battle continues between them, Alambusha and Ghatotkacha, as well as the Karna supporting them. So like this, the battle continues. Alambusha, he was chariotless. He did not have any charioteer. He angrily strikes at Ghatotkacha with his fists, and Ghatotkacha, with that strike, he trembles like a mountain with trees and creepers during the earthquake. He trembles, but then angrily raising his own arm, which is like a mace itself, he deals a severe blow on Alambusha and crushing him in angrily. Ghatotkacha quickly throws him down and seizing him by two arms, he begins to press him and then with great force on the earth. So like this, Alambusha, freeing himself from Ghatotkacha, rises up and then again the battle continues. Alambusha also throwing down Ghatotkacha in that battle, he began to crush him. The battle continues between them, those two, Ghatotkacha and Alambusha. It became exceedingly fierce, and everybody started watching that battle between those two Rakshasas in that dead of night. So again, trying to overpower one another with the power of illusion. Those two proud warriors, they started fighting each other like Indra and Bali in the olden days. They started fighting each other, striking each other with spiked clubs, maces, lances, mullets, axes, short clubs, mountain cliffs, and various things, and riding on the horseback, elephants, foot, and on the chariot. And like this, those two created a lot of different types of illusions, and they fought each other in that battlefield. Then Ghatotkacha, desiring to kill Alambusha, he roars loudly. He roars loudly and quickly he roars high up in the sky and then quickly jumps down like a hawk coming down and seizes Alambusha in his arm and presses him down on the earth. And then Ghatotkacha, he cuts off from his Alambusha's head from his body, uttering a loud roar. He cuts off and seizing that head of Alambusha, Ghatotkacha quickly goes towards Duryodhana's chariot and approaching Duryodhana, Ghatotkacha smilingly throws that head of Alambusha at Duryodhana's chariot and tells him that here is your ally I have killed. Your prowess, you wanted to, through him, destroy the Pandavas. See him, I have killed him. Again, you will see Karna next coming here. Karna's head coming. I'll bring Karna's head next. Then after that, I will take your own head. So again, one who is very observant of morality, dharma, artha, and kama, such a person should never go empty-handed to a king, a brahmana, or a woman. Okay, so the person, good people, should never go empty-handed to a king or a brahman or a woman. They should always take some gift. So, because you are a king, I came with this Alambusha's head as a gift. So take this. Like this, he throws that, and then he says, "I will bring you more gift of Karna's head next." And then, having said that, Ghatotkacha goes towards Karna. So with that, Duryodhana started trembling, hearing those words of Ghatotkacha. So Dhritarashtra, listening to this, he asked, how did indeed the battle take place between Karna and Rakshasa Ghatotkacha? How did they bat? What aspects did that Rakshasa then present? What kind of chariot he ride? What was the nature of his horses? What weapons did he use? What is the size of his horses? And what is the standard of his chariot and his bow and armor and headgear? He had all those things, described me all those things. He asked more details of Ghatotkacha, and Sanjaya starts narrating that Ghatotkacha, how he looked in that battlefield. He says that Ghatotkacha, he had a blood red eyes, he was gigantic form, his face was full of color of copper, his belly was low and sunken, the bristles on his body were all pointed, his hair was pointed upwards, and his head was green, his ears were like an arrow, his cheekbones were very high, his mouth was very large, extending from ear to ear, his teeth were keen, and four of those were highly high and very pointed. His tongue and lips were very long and coppery color, and his brows were long and extending, and his nose was very thick. His body was blue and neck was red. He had a tall as a hill, and he was very terrible to see. And he was very of gigantic frame and gigantic arm and gigantic head. He was endued with great strength. He was ugly, and he was hard limbs, and hair on his body was tied upwards in a frightful shape. His hips were large and his navel was very deep. He was of a gigantic frame, and circumference of his body was not great. And the ornaments on his arm was proportionate, and he was possessed of great power of illusion, and he was decked with angadas on his arm, and he wore a cuirass on his breast, and then like a circle of fire on the breast of a mountain, and his head was bright and beautiful. Diadem made of gold was there, with every part proportionate and beautiful. It was looking like an arc, and his earrings were bright like a morning sun. His garlands were made of gold and exceedingly bright, and he had his body gigantic armor of brass with great effulgence, and also his chariot was decked with hundreds of tinkling bells. Its standard waved numerous blood-red banners, and there was measures of a nalva, and it is a nalva is about comes about 300, 500 feet long, and the chariot was covered with bear skin. It was equipped with all kinds of great weapons. It has a tall standard, and it was adorned with garlands and had 8 wheels, and clatter it resembled that of the thunder and clouds making sound, and his horses were infuriated like an infuriated elephant. They possessed of eyes and terrible aspects. They were of various colors, and they were having a great speed and strength. And those horses were never going to get fatigued, and they were adorned with manes, and they were kneeing repeatedly. They bore that Ghatotkacha into that battlefield. And that Ghatotkacha, again, he was of terrible eyes and fierce mouth, blazing earrings, a Rakshasa of terrible eyes, fierce mouth, and blazing earrings acted as his driver, the charioteer, holding the reins that looked like a bright sun rays. And that driver, again, he came to the battle like a Surya with this driver, Aruna, coming like that. He came to the battlefield. So, like this, a carnivorous vulture, blood red, was perched on that chariot, and he came to that Ghatotkacha came to that battlefield drawing his bow. Both twang resembled like a thunder of Indra itself, and the string was very hard and it measured a dozen cubits in length and 1 cubit in breadth, such a bow he was holding in his hand. So, like this, filling all the points, all the directions, everywhere, his size, that chariot, Rakshasa, he rushes towards Karna in that night, again, staying proudly on his chariot, stretched his bow. On the other hand, Karna remains, he smilingly withstands that Rakshasa coming there. Karna proceeds smilingly against Ghatotkacha. So then the collision takes place between those two, Karna and Ghatotkacha. It became very terrible. It resembled between the that took place between Indra and Shambhara in the olden days. Like this, the battle takes place between them, piercing each other with keen pointed arrows, each other mangling each other. They failed, however, to make each other tremble. For a long time in that nocturnal combat between Karna and the Rakshasas, along with Ghatotkacha, again, they battled like as if it's a sport, and they continued. Ghatotkacha's um, uh, again, the key sharp arrows comes from Ghatotkacha and Karna, each of them striking each other. So at that time, Karna could not overcome Ghatotkacha, and seeing this, all persons who were aware of all the weapons and everything, they invoked all this. Karna invoked all the celestial weapons, and seeing those celestial weapons aimed at him, Ghatotkacha, he started invoking his own Rakshasa illusion and overcoming those uh, celestial weapons. Seeing him, changing him like that, he was again surrounded by a large force of terrible looking Rakshasas as well. Ghatotkacha surrounded by them, supported by them. They were armed with lances, large rocks, hills, and clubs, and things like that. Seeing Ghatotkacha advancing like that in his hand, uh, with terrible bow and fatal, very large club, the kings on the Kaurava side, the kings and warriors on the Kaurava side, they were struck with fear. So the battle continued between those two. There were from all sides thick rains of rocks and stones that poured continuously from those Rakshasas on Kaurava troops. Again, in that midnight, it became very, very terrible. Iron wheels, bushindis, darts, lances, spears, shatagnis, axes began to fall continuously, and seeing that terrible battle between them, the Kaurava troops started running away in all directions. But Karna, who was very proud of his strength, remained there. He did not tremble. And again, with his arrows, started destroying those illusions created by Ghatotkacha, and seeing his illusion dispelled like that, Ghatotkacha once again began to shoot deadly arrows towards Karna, and those arrows again, uh, uh, striking, piercing through Karna's body, entered the earth on the other side. Karna angrily once more strikes back at Ghatotkacha. So the battle continues between them. They, when he was pierced very much by Karna, Ghatotkacha, feeling great pain, he takes up a celestial wheel, which had thousands of size of the normal regular wheel on the chariot, and that wedge of those wheel was very sharp like a razor, and it was decked with jewels and things like that. He hurls that at Karna. But Karna, on the other hand, cuts off that with dozens of arrows, and the battle continues between them. Ghatotkacha was covered by Karna with large number of arrows, and fearlessly Ghatotkacha again strikes back at him. Ghatotkacha, wielding a golden mace, he hurls at Karna. Karna cuts off that, then jumping, skying high into the sky like a cloud. Ghatotkacha started from sky. He started showering trees and stones and things like that at Karna. Karna again, using his weapons, he destroys all that, and then cutting off Ghatotkacha's chariot. Uh, Karna strikes Ghatotkacha on every part of his body. Even there is no space, even 2 finger width, and Ghatotkacha with arrows all over his body. He looked like a porcupine, and they could not see any space in Ghatotkacha's body where the arrow was not struck by Karna. So destroying then again by his weapons, the celestial weapons of Karna, Ghatotkacha continues with his power of illusion, began to fight Karna, and they began to fight Karna, aided by his, with his illusions, and the battle continued between them, assuming many fears and grim heads and things like that. Those Rakshasas began to devour all those Kaurava troops and things like that. So then Rakshasa, with hundreds of wounds in his body, Ghatotkacha, he seemed to lie cheerlessly as if dead. When he cheerlessly he sat down like that, everybody thought Ghatotkacha was killed, and Kaurava troops became very much happy and started shouting in joy. Suddenly, he rises up with hundreds of heads and hundreds of stomachs and various titles like a huge mountain. And then once again, he becomes very small, like the size of a thumb, and then starts attacking. And then he goes through, tearing through the earth and rising up on the surface. He dived again into the water. Various type of illusions he creates. Ghatotkacha, and seeing that in the vicinity of Karna's chariot, Ghatotkacha, everybody were wondering how Karna is going to face, but Karna continuously resists with his own weapons, and Ghatotkacha continuously, with his illusion, he started striking Karna from various directions. So Ghatotkacha makes himself invisible, and then he became like a huge mountain, and with many summits around it. And then from those, he issued lances from that mountain. He started striking spears, swords, clubs, and various other things like that. He started various weapons. Karna again, with his celestial weapons, cuts off all those and cuts off all those weapons and the mountain shape and everything. Ghatotkacha once again becomes the shape of a blue rainbow and then started attacking. And then Karna destroys that with the Vayuva weapon. And then, like this, the battle continued between them. Ghatotkacha piercing Karna with 5 arrows, and then once more shooting with Anjalika weapon. Ghatotkacha quickly cuts off bow of Karna. And then Karna taking up another bow, he strikes at Ghatotkacha. Karna shot some very sharp winged arrows at Ghatotkacha, and destroying those arrows. With those arrows, he kills the horses, diverse elephants, and the Rakshasas that were accompanying it with Ghatotkacha. So like this, Karna destroys that Rakshasa troops, and but again, Ghatotkacha once again comes back, and he was again uh, striking with his illusion. He was striking again on a new chariot, which was dragged by the donkeys. Which were looking like elephants, such a huge sized donkeys were dragging his chariot, and he again once again comes, and then it starts again attacking Ghatotkacha. So like this, the battle continues between those two, and we will continue how that battle concludes and who wins. We'll look at that next time.